soothing.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Lydians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
Even though the Hotari should have control of the mines, some of the Lydian claims are still valid.
There you're wrong, but we can agree to disagree.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Lydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Lydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Did you have help from someone else?
Hotari stands alone against the Lydian forces. We don't need help from anyone. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Lydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Lydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Lydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, but that's what concerns me. Whatever they're hiding, it can't be good.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Sorry, I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without a Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Clearly, you weren't aware.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least, that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
You sound skeptical.
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder. Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Lydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
Well, couldn't we slowboat it out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Always seem to find a way to push his buttons. Yeah, I think he'd blast me out of the airlock if he thought it would help increase engine efficiency by 0.1%.
Well, don't worry about it. Chovak's opinion isn't the only one that matters. Last time I checked, I was still Chief Science Officer, and you made a hell of an impression on Ambassador Spock. I'm the one who should be worried with this new first officer on board. This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I'm just not getting any traction with her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. She didn't listen to me when you were out on the hull and I was trying to make it safer for you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. A I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
I love it. So put me up for promotion. I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration. If I were first officer, it would be different.
Well, what do you think? Is there room for me in the science division?
Unless I can come up with a real good reason.
This isn't enough?
It might be. Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Launch.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Hotari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually. We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
We're under attack and we didn't even know it. We need to stop them. Unplug whatever it is they're hitting us with.
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. But one thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Lydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
We're right to be worried. If they're targeting the Resolute and we can't go to warp, that effectively leaves us at their mercy.
Which puts us in a rather difficult position.
Especially if they have more tricks up their sleeve.
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Sidron was very curious when we spoke outside the Queen's chamber. He wanted to know all about us, our ship, the Federation. He wasn't giving any answers. He was looking for them.
Well, I'm sure you didn't tell him too much. I don't think the Lydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Lydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're not doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Lydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action.
What the Federation doesn't know won't hurt them. If I do it right, nobody will know I was there.
Commander, I'm surprised at you.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. The mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Oh, I thought security was the detail to be on. Now all of a sudden you're interested in engineering?
Just making an observation.
Come on, start pulling chips.
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
This is another piece of the puzzle we're trying to put together. We should be investigating it.
And you can. In the containment lab. But protocol is protocol. I can't make an exception. Not even for you two.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels.
We're at the edge of the quadrant. Help isn't just gonna pop over like we're in Sector 001.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
You talk like you've never had your backs up against a wall before. This is Starfleet. We solve our own problems.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. I just don't want to take any chances. Not with my friends.
You and Miranda seem to be back to normal. But she was a little off. I think this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast?
Now, you can't tell me you're not a little spooked, too. We all should be.
Believe me, I'm taking it seriously. But Miranda talking about sending a distress call on her own? That's going too far. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda, too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze. .2% match.
Got it.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Takan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
Actually, I've heard of the Takan.
You have?
Quite impressive, Commander.
Computer, summarize the Enterprise D's discovery of a Takan outpost.
On Stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence. There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
The Lydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. and obviously it's not without risk.
I'm ready for action, Captain. Just say the word and I'll be there.
I'll admit, I wish I could go myself. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes. Which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Lydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Diaz, Tamaris.
Try her again. Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips. Miranda, you in here? Hello? Hello? Hey! Miranda?
What the hell are you doing, Carter? You almost knocked me to the lower level. What's wrong with you?
Look, I'm in here looking for you.
Well, I'm busy. I was just leaving.
Well, hold on. Commander Westbrook said the crystal formation we found in the shuttle never made it to the containment lab.
I don't know why he'd say that. I brought them there myself. Whatever he told you, he got it wrong. All I know is where I left them.
If that's the case, let's both go down there and find them. It's that simple.
I don't have time for that. I have work to do. Now, if we're done here, I have to go. Do you mind? I'm in the middle of my shift.
I saw the data terminal and the isolinear chips. Were you copying data? There's no one else in here.
I wasn't. I was performing a security sweep of the area.
And you didn't see the open terminal? I want a straight answer, Miranda. What are you doing here?
Carter, you don't have to treat me like a stranger just to prove a point. We're friends. You can still act like it. Unless you don't want that either.
Nah, don't put this on me. You're the one acting strange.
I don't have to explain myself to you. Especially if you're not going to listen to my answers.
Edsalar de Diaz. What's the holdup?
Don't answer that. You and I can work this out. Please.
You are seriously out of line, Miranda. First you tried to run, now this?
I'm not going to stand here and debate you.
Edsalar de Diaz. Are you okay? So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
Ask her! She was doing something with this. Copying all kinds of data.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Check the data on this drive. I'm sure it'll show her access codes were used. And there were probably files copied while I was still with you two in engineering.
That makes sense.
Then get someone down here who can prove that. But until then, I have to go.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Miranda, maybe you're feeling out of sorts and we should head to sickbay so the doc can check you out?
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Please, just let me go see the doctor.
Let's take her to sickbay. It's better than the brig, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Fine. Get checked out by medical. You two go with her. I'll put this back together.
Foliage on Tau resembles underwater plant life on Earth. The universe is full of mysteries. Rydick here.
This is Irma. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to light shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydick out. The ionic interference is coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
When you called to give us a scan, it sounded like they caught you. I was worried you'd been hurt.
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Follow me.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible, but explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Takan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, that's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door. How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you tried to deny me entry.
The Queen? But I just...
You just Just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further up the ladder. You have no authority here. Do you understand who pays your wage? I can inform the Queen directly of this instance. You'll regret everything you've said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared before you.
That's not the protocol. I didn't know
Each second you delay my entry will be recorded, processed, and permanently marked on your record. I can't believe this. Does your brain function? Do you speak our tongue?
Someone takes their breaks up here. Maybe the same guard who left that window unlocked. I suppose the view is nice.
Escort me to the maintenance bay.
I told you I can't just...
Now!
But fine.
A wise choice. Lead the way. Be quick.
Not going that way. Force field. Looks like it was installed recently. No safe way around it. Let's get a look inside you. Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo. Better hurry. Not sure how long she can keep him busy. Might be rigged to only open for registered users. No control panel here. I should take a look with my tricorder. Might control the exit door. Need to see inside it. Something in here is keeping that door closed. Should remove the security check on the door.
I didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it? I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to listen to you otherwise.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it. Do you think we could just find a way to climb over this?
Possibly. But the console on the lift itself is locked by the same system that locks this ramp.
No shortcuts, then.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
No luck. Unless this console thinks I'm a Hotari guard, it won't work.
The guards work out of that building back there. Might have some DNA.
That's an enormous tractor beam.
One of our strongest. The miners dump everything they find into the center, and the tractor beam moves it all up into the collector ship.
You sound a little proud of it.
The Lydians may have given us new tools, but the methods of excavation are all Hotari designed.
This facility doesn't seem well maintained. In a Lydian console.
All the managerial technology in the mines is Lydian.
So they can keep an eye on their investment.
That's how it is.
Hopefully that guard stays outside.
Oh, he will.
Wow, that is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots. can use this. That's a stable DNA sample. It's only partial, but a few more should do it. Hotari must be tough on the inside, too. If they eat in here, it's likely there's some DNA in the room. Almost looks like coffee. Almost. I'll have some Ractogino when I get back to the ship. Not concentrated enough. I should try somewhere else. Some kind of glowing mineral being used as a light source. Might want one of these for my cabin, actually. Leftovers. I should give this a scan. There's gotta be stable DNA here. Good. That's another I could use. Just need one more sample. Not enough. Gotta keep looking. This'll work. Perfect. That's enough to make the DNA profile. Time to go back to the lift. You're not coming inside?
There are some things I'd rather not smell.
Ah. What's in all these containers?
These contain mining supplies, tools, energy packs for machinery.
Shouldn't mining supplies be inside the mines?
It is troubling. If the workers here aren't mining,
it worked.
Theory proven.
I'll get it started.
Ready?
I'm a little afraid of what we might find down there.
We'll be okay. I've survived worse than this.
Well, I haven't. But I'll put my faith in you. For now. Jara. No, stay back. There's a guard at the station. We'll have to hide.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
Jues Gawad Abawencha.
Are you all right?
I don't know.
Are you injured?
No, I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do. I've never even fired a weapon. This is just... It's real now. I wasn't ready for this.
Hey, I'll keep you safe.
Can you?
I was a tactical officer before I was posted to the Resolute. I know my way around a phaser. You saw how I handled our large friend here.
I suppose that is somewhat reassuring. My authority has never been challenged like that. It meant nothing to him.
So we should assume any Hotari we encounter from here on can't be reasoned with.
Agreed. The only loyalty they have down here is to Galvin and Sidron.
Can you switch over the lift?
Guard should have a scan card that will allow us to operate the switch.
Got it.
He's not dead, is he? He's still one of my people, and I didn't come here to take Hotari lives.
My phaser's set to stun. He'll be perfectly fine, just unconscious for a while.
I see. We don't have that sort of technology on our weapons.
Good to know. The energy readings are emanating from this tunnel. It's sure to be guarded in there. Stay low and follow my lead. Is that all dilithium?
Not all of it. We excavate large chunks of rock that contain varying amounts of dilithium ore. It's sorted and processed at the collector ship above.
More guards.
I take that as a sign we're getting close.
I'll get a closer look. Looks like they've improvised a barrier.
Yes, we must be getting closer.
We need that particular card, don't we?
I'm afraid so.
We don't have time to wait for them to finish whatever they're doing. We'll have to try to keep low and sneak past them.
I'm starting to see the utility of a phaser.
I wouldn't stand a chance against all three of them. Can you open that door?
Not without that scan card.
I don't like our options here. I have to get us that card so we can open the door.
How? If they detect you, Galvin and Sidron's followers are clearly willing to kill to protect whatever's in this mine.
Hey, I'm trained for this. I'll be fine.
What should I do?
Avoid being seen. Stick to the edge of the room, and meet me at the door.
Soon we'll be in control. It's coming along. But I'm sure the Lydians will try something else. They saw our power, our resolve. They're terrified of us. Until the plan is complete, we're vulnerable. Then get back to work, and we'll complete the plan more quickly. It's just a matter of time. Almost complete. Who's that? Strange. Someone's here. How long is Galen going to make us wait? I'm not worried. He's let us well so
I'd
far.
melt if I went through there.
It's a miracle we're
Keep
here.
moving.
We've been waiting for so long. Patience, brother. We'll get our chance. It's inevitable after all. That it is.
Stay close.
Stop!
What?
Motion sensors. They'll trigger an alarm. We'll be found.
Invisible to the naked eye.
They could be anywhere. How will we get through?
This...
It's where the uprising started. Hotari don't do this. We defend ourselves, but we don't kill on this scale, this level of savagery.
There's no such thing as a bloodless rebellion.
I don't know if we should keep going. So much death. I don't want to end up like them.
If you're going to lose your nerve, you could stay behind. I'll finish the mission and save your people by myself.
No. No, I told you. We Hotari are stubborn people. We keep going. You go first.
Whatever happened here, it made the Lydians abandon the mines. Let's find out what they're so scared of. Is this the effects of an Lydian disruptor?
Yes.
Disruptors are cruel weapons. Hotari and a Lydian. Both sides took a beating. The Hotari fortified the side of the room opposite the door. It's a good tactic, but a few crates aren't going to stop fully armed Lydian soldiers. How did they win? From the blast marks, it looks like the Lydians had far greater firepower. Footprints. Lydian boots. Running back the way we came. Tylus.
What?
What kind of weapon did this?
This is like nothing I've ever seen or heard of. My people don't have a weapon that does this.
What else can you tell me? What an awful way to die. This must be why the Lydians are so afraid. Technology that surpasses their own, in the hands of the Hotari that they've lorded over for centuries.
Where did this weapon come from?
Well, the crystals are giving off tetrametric pulses. If I set my tricorder to search for that frequency, it'll lead us right to the source. Killed by the same crystallization as the Lydian.
Whose side was the killer on?
The Lydian's shot to kill.
But if they killed him, why was he shot in the back?
Huh, you're right. The shot came from the side the Hotari were defending.
We don't kill our own. And he wasn't just caught in the middle.
Tylus, you may not want to look down there.
I've come too far to... What is this?
They've been dumping bodies down here.
Unforgivable. Galvin and Sidron will be made to answer for this.
More of these crystals.
Another of my people dead.
Think they parked this here on purpose?
One way to find out.
Need any help?
I've got it.
This concentration of tetrametric radiation has never been recorded. Whatever they're hiding, it's right through here.
This feels strange.
The crystals are increasing, growing outward, replacing the soil.
It's like an infection. A parasite. Growing inside Tau.
Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
It's the remnants of the Takan Empire.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can. Somewhat resembles a transporter pad.
What are we looking at?
It's made of the same crystalline material as the rest of this place, but I can't tell much else. Might be some kind of sleep mode. I can't analyze this further unless it starts working normally.
Maybe we can turn it on from somewhere else.
Hopefully. Let's keep looking around. Look familiar?
It's almost identical to the console Galvin has hidden in the palace. It looks like a control surface.
This suggests there's some type of complex life form contained within each crystal.
Life form? There's something alive in these tiny crystals?
That's what it says, but hard to imagine how that's possible. Our science division will have a field day with this. We need to study it on the ship. How are you holding up?
I knew Galvin and Sidron were dangerous. Now I know they're more powerful than I could have imagined. But the worst of it is knowing they got there by turning our people against their own. Can your device read this?
It can roughly translate the words, but we don't have enough Takonian language on record to understand how it's structured.
Oh well. What is it?
The device's primary function is to transmute lithium into this quantized crystalline compound. Possibly for the creation of weapons.
Do you think one of these was used on that Lydian in the tunnels?
Such a cruel weapon. Looks like some sort of replicator.
I can't get it to work.
It has power. Must be looking for some other kind of authorization.
just feels wrong.
I'll get what I need, and we can get out of here.
Thank you. This feels strange.
The crystals are increasing, growing outward, replacing the soil.
It's like an infection.
Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
It's the remnants of the Takan Empire.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can.
Can your device read this?
It can roughly translate the words, but we don't have enough Takonian language on record to understand how it's structured.
Oh well. What is it?
The device's primary function is to transmute lithium into this quantized crystalline compound. Possibly for the creation of weapons.
Do you think one of these was used on that Lydian in the tunnels?
Such a cruel weapon. Looks like some sort of replicator.
I can't get it to work.
It has power. Must be looking for some other kind of authorization. This suggests there's some type of complex life form contained within each crystal.
Life form? There's something alive in these tiny crystals?
That's what it says, but hard to imagine how that's possible. Our science division will have a field day with this. We need to study it on the ship. Somewhat resembles a transporter pad. Look familiar?
It's almost identical to the console Galvin has hidden in the palace. It looks like a control surface. What are we looking at?
It's made of the same crystalline material as the rest of this place, but I can't tell much else. Might be some kind of sleep mode. I can't analyze this further unless it starts working normally.
Maybe we can turn it on from somewhere else.
Hopefully. Let's keep looking around. Crystallized lithium compound. Its internal structure is extremely ordered. In fact, the states of these crystals on a subatomic level suggests a storage device of some kind. Energy levels are both stable and ordered, like information. Some of them appear to be depleted.
What kind of information would you deplete?
Someone turned it on.
There's no one here. But maybe the device I saw in the palace can send a signal?
If that's the case, we may not be alone for long. Let's hurry. This can't be right. It's putting out almost 50 zettajoules of energy.
I assume that's a lot?
Enough to power this entire quadrant. This amount of power, the kind of radiation it's putting out, it's the cause of the storm. The warp disrupting beam, all of it.
What do we do now?
We get back to the Resolute. They have to know about this. Come on, let's... Quickly. We have to hide.
This is outrageous! I demand you let me go!
No need to complain. You're about to receive a gift beyond your wildest imagination. If anything, I consider it an honor.
What is that? What are you doing?
You'll see. Soon enough.
I can influence the course of the negotiations. I can make sure the Hotari get the better end of the bargain.
So can I.
Duval must not be back yet. She'll get better. She has to.
The doc's on her way here to check Miranda out. We did the right thing, bringing her here. She was off, from as soon as she came off the shuttle. Talking about a distress call?
I just want to make sure she's okay. This isn't like her.
We'll get her fixed up. You should talk to her. Keep her spirits up.
And to think, yesterday I couldn't wait to get back on the Resolute. To get the gang back together. You can't imagine how stupid I feel right now. I can't even believe it myself.
This is just a bump in the road. We're all still together, and we'll get through this together.
I'd like to believe that. I'm scared, Carter. I don't want to find out that there's something really wrong with me. Something they can't fix, or even explain.
You're in good hands here. There's not a lot that Starfleet Medical doesn't have an answer for.
I'm not so sure about that. They don't know everything.
There she is. It's good that you brought her here. Petty Officer Maris and the rest of the security away team skipped the bioscan when they came back from Hotari. And they've been impossible to track down since. We don't know what kind of pathogens they might have picked up.
Is that going to...
Sit still. This will just take a moment.
You're looking at me like I'm some kind of science experiment. Or a monster.
Did you realize you skipped the bioscan? I mean, if you weren't
Don't
feeling
try to
right...
blame me for this, Diaz.
What is it, a pathogen?
No. That's not Petty Officer Miranda Maris. I don't know who that is, but it's not Miranda. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but that's the simplest way to put it.
What? Then who is it?
I couldn't begin to say right now, but comparing the baseline readings I'm getting here with the DNA and brainwave records in Miranda's 15501, well, I'm seeing impossible variations. I guess you could call the process bioforming. This body is Miranda's, but her DNA is changing into something else. But what's more troubling is there appears to be another mind layered on top of her baseline brain scans. Miranda isn't in control. Someone else is.
That explains a lot. But it's not the explanation I wanted to hear.
So you know what's happening. Can it be reversed?
Just because I can describe what I'm seeing, it doesn't mean I know how it's happening or can put a stop to it. There's a lot more we need to learn. I want to take some functional readings. Take this and get her talking while it scans her.
I'm sure you don't want to speculate, Doc, but is there...
I don't want to be incinerated as biohazard. I don't know why I did it. Any of it. But it's like there's a voice in my head. It was telling me to go download the data. It told me not to let you stop me. And there was nothing I could do to say no. But I didn't want to.
So this voice in your head? I hope it doesn't tell you that we shouldn't still be friends.
I'm the one you have to worry about there. But I know you just want what's best for me. Well, I still can. I just want to say, Carter, I'm sorry. I really am. I hope you know that.
Don't give up on yourself just yet. We can beat this thing.
Oh, I'm not giving up.
What the?
Back off!
Computer, erect a force field between biobeds 2 and 3.
Computer, lower force field!
You do not have authorization.
I just want to live. I have a right to exist.
Give Miranda back!
1 sec. Go! I'm right behind you.
Osmia Kellam Kalujo.
Witches I go notice texta.
What the hell are they saying? It's not in the Universal Translator.
Is that some kind of transporter pad?
The drive!
Who the hell are you?
We are Scions of the Flame.
They can't get away with that. You have to shoot Miranda. Scions of the Flame? I don't like the sound of that.
You're never gonna believe this. The reason the Universal Translator didn't recognize that language is because it's only ever been read. It's the Takan language.
Get your filthy Hotari hands off me! We'll burn your planet to the ground! Animals!
Wait.
No!
Rise, brother. Rejoin the flame.
This can only mean our time has come.
I'm only sorry I couldn't find a more suitable host for you.
All in good time. This is only the beginning.
They're working together? An Lydian and a Hotari?
They did something to him.
Secure the Cartabula.
Cartabula?
It's the energy source.
Spread out. Search the vault. Go back through the mine. Cut off their escape. Find them!
Time to go.
We're trapped. They're blocking the only exit.
Maybe not. Can you buy me some time?
For what?
This vehicle looks a lot tougher than that barrier.
Shoot the Hotari woman!
Jara! Get on! Hold on to something. Oh no.
Don't stop. I'll handle them.
Shoot the one driving the machine! Inferior life form.
Tylus! We're surrounded.
I'll get it working. I just need some time. Here we go. The lift. We're trapped.
Resolute, 2 to beam up immediately. Resolute, come in.
Jara!
Are you all right?
I think so. It hurts. What are you doing?
Hold on to me.
Miranda was able to transport through the storm. There has to be some path through that we're not seeing.
Tetrametric radiation is saturating our sensors. There is too much interference to pick up the residual transporter signature.
Wait. Tetrametric radiation. Of course. I can align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. The crystals emit tetrametric pulses every 3.8422 seconds, roughly 26 centihertz. All of this is connected. The storm, the warp-killing field, the crystals, Miranda's alien transporter tech. Okay, I've got the transporter in calibration. There are a lot of biosigns in that mine, all stacked on top of each other. I need something to identify the commander signal. Something loud, energetic.
Understood. Commander Rydek, we have penetrated the storm's interference, but we are unable to pinpoint your signature. We need you to generate a high-energy event to help us...
High-energy event. Got it. Tylus, are you still with me? I am. Good. I'm going to shoot my phaser at some dilithium to cause a piezoelectric rupture. What? Why? Signal flare. These crystals have to be pure enough. Bigger still. Come on.
Whoa! Dilithium explosion!
Is that energetic enough?
More than enough. I can lock onto their biosigns now. I've got their biosigns isolated.
Commander, we have your signal.
I'm gonna tunnel a path through the ionic interference. I've got a path. Just gotta calibrate the signal. I've got a lock.
Energize.
Petty Officer Diaz.
We're losing her.
The pattern is degrading. Can you hold the signal?
I'm trying. I got it. Come on, come on. Yes!
Get her to sickbay.
Captain Solano and Ambassador Spock have just returned from Hotari.
Take a look at that.
Rydick, I need you on the bridge, now.
I'm here.
The Lydians are preparing to attack Hotari.
Status report.
The systems are now fully powered. All torpedo tubes open. They're preparing to fire!
We should hail the Lydian flagship, Captain.
Readying phasers if you want them.
Stand by. Await my order. Recommendation, Commander? We need to act quickly.
Maneuver the Resolute underneath their warships. Block their shots at the planet's surface.
Clever. Shields at maximum, Mr. Herman. You heard the Commander.
Aye, Captain.
I'll think twice about firing on a Federation ship.
Lydians. They've powered down their weapons.
Odd. You sure about that, Mr. Herman?
They're venting some kind of gas from their ship. Hold on. Now all of their systems have shut down.
That's unexpected.
Commander Ermont, scan them again. We have to be sure.
No mistaking it. They're dead in the water.
What's happening?
There's an energy dampening field coming from the Tau moon.
Take us out of range.
Aye, Captain.
Captain, the flagship is hailing us.
On screen.
Zeldy to the Starship Resolute. Our main power cores are completely disabled. The more power we give, the more it takes. Running off batteries. Life support systems have failed. Unable to ventilate. Contaminated atmosphere.
Admiral, you are about to launch an attack on a defenseless planet.
Kobliat, you sided with the Hotari in the negotiation, but that does not matter now. My crew is going to die. Please, I beg of you. You must render assistance. System failures are compounding around my ship.
We'll help you.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Admiral, excuse us while we devise a rescue plan.
By my estimate, the crew only have 23 minutes before their atmospheric mix becomes lethal.
While we may not be able to transport the Lydians directly, if we were to transport them from their ship to a nearby shuttlecraft, it should be possible to amplify the transporter signal there and reroute it to the Resolute.
The Ambassador's plan is incomplete. An away team will have to beam aboard the Zeldi and set up pattern enhancers for a stable enough signal out of the dampening field.
Thank you for identifying my deficiency, Commander Chovak.
Jara, I need a senior officer in command of this. Take Chovak and Bedrosian in the shuttle, and get it done.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edselar, you will be part of the rescue mission. As will I. We will bring the shuttle within transporter range of the Zeldi, then beam you both aboard.
Beam us on board. Why?
The pattern enhancers must be placed on the Zeldi to make it possible to beam the Lydians back to the Resolute. Gather the pattern enhancers, and get to the docking bay.
We're going on the wrong mission.
What's that?
We're going to rescue the Lydians, the people that oppressed the Hotari, when we should be going to rescue Miranda. This thing that's happened to Miranda is like the Trill symbiosis joining, only worse. And I've seen too many people I care about wiped away by some greater entity to stand by while the same thing happens to her. I wanted no part of it then, and I won't stand for it now. Their bodies stolen and used like puppets.
I'm not gonna get my hopes up just yet. We don't know if what's been done to her can be reversed.
Don't give up on her so quickly.
Right now, we've got other lives to save.
Yeah.
The away team is ready.
Resolute to Shuttlecraft Melville. You're cleared for takeoff.
Acknowledged, Resolute. Melville taking off.
We are within range. Any closer will put the shuttlecraft at risk. Preparing to transport the away team. Energizing.
The ship's life support. It's almost completely drained.
And the other systems, too.
Oh no.
We gotta get to their transporter room.
These must close in case of emergency. They don't have enough power left to function. Carter, give them a charge with your phaser. Should make them open.
It's not working.
No power's running through any of this. We gotta get him open manually.
I am the ranking officer here. State your intentions. We are under siege. Explain yourselves.
What does it look like? We're here to rescue you.
And yet, you cannot even open a door.
Whoa there.
I am still able to stand. What are you trying to do?
We gotta get into your transporter room.
Then we can get your people off the ship.
Make sure they're evenly spaced. We need to manually adjust beam trajectory so they connect.
I got this one. You get the others. I can handle this one. Make sure the others are lined up.
The pattern enhancers are aligned and ready to go. Let's round them up.
These will boost the signal so we can transport through the storm. We have a shuttle outside this ship that will route the signal to the Resolute.
All crew to Transporter Room 2. We are evacuating.
We're live.
Here they come.
Okay, coordinates. Beam status. Energizing controls.
Please step on the platform so we can evacuate you, Admiral.
The crew goes first, Hunter.
Sir.
I mean it.
You! Get on the platform already!
Okay, the interface is in a Lydian, but the layout is the same as a Starfleet transporter. I just gotta do what I did before. Select the people to transport. Plot a path through the ionic interference. Okay, just have to calibrate the signal gain to get the highest possible output. Wasn't enough power. Need to look for the place where the waveforms are farthest apart. Lock it in at the point where the lines are farthest apart. Even at this range, the interference is too much. The system is suggesting better transport coordinates. Diaz, the shuttle. You're sitting right in the thick of it. I'm sending you specific coordinates for a clear signal path.
Waypoint's been added to the navigational computer. There, Commander. Give or take 50 meters.
Melville to away team. Energize.
I have the first group of Lydians in the pattern buffer. Redirecting and transmitting to the Resolute now.
This is Resolute. We have the Lydians safely aboard.
We did it! I was so worried this wouldn't work. We got this.
Good work. Keep it up.
Yes, Commander.
This is Commander Rydek. We're holding steady. Signal is good. Keep them coming.
Admiral, you're next.
I've made it clear. I only leave after those in my charge.
Sir, I must insist you go so you can lead our people. I will see to any stragglers.
Yes, that may be for the best. But first, let me thank our human saviors. I'll pin medals on your uniforms when this is over.
We're not out of the woods yet, sir. So if you don't mind...
Ah, yes. Forgive me.
We're ready for transport.
Get the Admiral to safety.
Energize.
Massive power surge!
Sending available power to the annular confinement beam. I have the Lydians in the pattern buffer, but I cannot resolve their signal to send them through to the Resolute. Nor can I materialize them here.
We need a better position with the Resolute. Away from the light.
I am losing their patterns. I need more power, but internal relays are not functioning.
I'll do it manually. Do it!
I am trying. I will lose the transport if I do not have more time. The signal is resolving.
Please!
We have lost the 15 Lydians in the last transport. I regret to report that we have lost the last transport.
My comrade. The Admiral.
Unfortunately, our shuttle systems were damaged by the power surge. We can no longer serve as a transporter node.
Carter, these readings are off the charts. The source of the storm is on this ship. That must have been the power surge when it came on board.
You're right. The Takan energy source. They call it the Cartabula. It's here.
Is that?
The intruders are preparing to bring the Zeldi to war.
And we're about to be stuck on it.
There is an old Lydian saying about leaping off the hot skillet and falling to the flame below.
Yeah, we got that one too.
This is an opportunity for us. We're on this ship. We can stay in the shadows, see where they're taking the Cartabula, and do something to stop them.
You always wanted the chance to do something big.
That's all well and good, but if we're not getting off this ship, we're really backed into a corner here.
We can't get off this ship.
But maybe I could target somewhere on the ship.
We are reading the warp engines powering up.
Yeah, we picked up on that.
We do not have a way to evacuate you from the Zeldi. The shuttlecraft is too heavily damaged.
That's all right, Commander. We have a plan of our own. We're gonna stay on this ship.
That is very bold of you, Mr. Diaz. Live long and prosper.
I hear voices down the corridor.
It will be here soon.
I'll guard the door. You just get us out of here, Diaz.
Hey, Stretch. Help us with this map. Find somewhere as remote as you can.
They're almost here.
Meso.
Too exposed.
There. The aft cargo bay.
That is acceptable.
Sounds good to me.
Whatever you're doing, do it now!
We're locked in. Board to transport.
Come on, Belle!
Belle!
It's too late for him. Carter!
3 to transport. Energize.
Zeldi does not appear to have left any warp signature at all. We cannot track its trajectory.
I held on as long as I could.
We saved many lives. And our people on the Zeldi knew the risks their duties entailed.
Contact the Resolute, Mr. Chovak. Have them bring us back.
Yes, Commander.
You saved as many Lydian lives as you could. And more importantly, you looked after your crew. That's what counts. You have to look out for your own, first and foremost.
In the heat of the moment, I just couldn't risk losing Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I understand. Not an easy decision. We'd be lost without a tactical officer. Especially now. Unfortunately, the Admiral was among those who didn't make it. I'm sure it's a huge blow to the Lydians. I hope they don't blame us. We suffered our own losses as well.
How are we getting our away team back?
Ambassador Spock and the rest of the senior staff are waiting for us in the briefing room to discuss just that. I wanted a chance for you and I to speak first, given the circumstances. While protocol might suggest we alert Starfleet about our situation, missing crew, the data breach, possible threat from the Hotari, or Takan, I think we're better off keeping this to ourselves, under our control. You know what's at stake for me here, and what is at stake for you, too. I can't afford another mission gone wrong, and I'm really counting on your support. I don't want to raise a false alarm just yet.
I'll follow your lead. We can keep this under wraps for now.
Always nice to know you have my back. One of the primary reasons I brought you on board.
And in turn, I hope you'll have my back as well.
Of course. Loyalty like yours doesn't go unnoticed. Or unrewarded.
We're ready in the briefing room, Captain.
On our way. Is there any update on our efforts to trace the Zeldy's warp signature?
Unfortunately, no. Somehow they were able to mask the signature and block our ability to track their trajectory.
I'm also concerned about what went with them. A Takonian energy source.
Sidron referred to it as the Cartabula.
Yes, I've been analyzing your tricorder scans. This Cartabula is more powerful than any energy source on record. It disabled our ability to warp and likely created the ion storm.
Something that powerful in their hands?
We have to find that ship.
It could be anywhere by now.
Literally anywhere.
I have faith in our away team. They won't give up easily, and if they can somehow manage to stay alive, then maybe they could get word to us about their location.
That'd be a hell of a lucky break.
Right now, we need all the luck we can get. The Takan also compromised our systems when Petty Officer Maris stole data from our computer core.
We're assessing what was lost as we speak. It's just too soon to say exactly what they had access to.
Starfleet needs to know about this.
We're not contacting Starfleet until we fully understand the situation. There are too many unknowns.
They stole our data. That's reason enough to warn Starfleet.
But the captain does have a point. It might be better to wait until we know more.
I would have to agree with the captain. There's no point causing undue panic based purely on speculation.
We need to know more before we go off half-cocked sounding the alarm. I want to speak with the Hotari and get to the bottom of this before we get Starfleet involved.
I expect we'll meet resistance. The Hotari think we violated our neutrality by entering their minds. Assuming the negotiations are off, we no longer have an official role here.
We still have a responsibility to the Hotari and the Lydians.
The Takan are a threat to both their civilizations.
No. They're a threat to us all. The device Commander Rydek found in the Takonian Vault is an advanced delivery mechanism for a complex biogenetic transformation process.
Meaning what, exactly?
Not only are they bioforming innocent hosts, transforming them into Takan, they're taking the DNA and engrammatic data of a specific Takonian and displacing that of its host. It's a hostile takeover on a cellular level, bringing individual Takan back to life, one by one.
Is there some way it could be reversed?
That's exactly what I've been trying to find out. So far, it appears the answer is no. Once the Takonian takes control, the displacement of the host is irreversible. And the bioforming appears to be permanent. Petty Officer Maris called herself a Scion of the Flame, but the computer had no information about it.
She also shot the hell out of my ship as she escaped and nearly killed a few of our crew. So we know this about those Scions. They're dangerous.
The Takan have crossed a line. That much is certain. However, meeting with the Hotari could offer insight into their true intentions, under the pretense of an apology for betraying their trust and trespassing on their territory.
Given the options, this might be our best chance to find out more about what they have planned.
I couldn't agree more.
With the Cartabula gone, I can confirm we have regained warp capability and the use of our transporters.
Excellent. Commander Ermot, see if we can arrange a meeting on Hotari as soon as possible. As Ambassador Spock suggested, under the pretense of an apology.
Aye, Captain.
Nice work, everyone.
You're long overdue for a Duridium infusion.
It looks like I am.
Aside from almost running out of Duridium, you're in good health.
Nice to get some positive news for a change.
You I don't worry about. The captain, however...
Go on.
You see it, don't you? He's desperate. Withholding intel from Starfleet just to save his reputation. That's not normal behavior for a captain. And you encouraged him. You've spent enough time with him now. Seen enough of how he runs the ship. If there's something wrong, as the ship's doctor, I need to know. Don't sugarcoat it. You know I wouldn't.
He's perfectly fine. The captain is doing everything he can to ensure our success. I know you don't agree with his methods, but you can't deny his heart is in the right place.
Well, if that's what you believe, just know the rest of us have to live with your decisions. Make sure you remember that.
Jara.
Monitor your Duridium levels. I'll be right back.
How's your wound?
Like it was never there. I feel lucky you were there with me. Without you, I'd be, well... Thank you for saving my life. Even with the wonders of your technology, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd left me for dead.
I should be thanking you. You took that disruptor shot for me. Without you, I might be the one in sickbay, or worse.
Well, I couldn't just let you die. Not after all you did to help.
I won't forget it.
We saw the truth down in those mines. What Sidron and Galvin really are. Who they've become. The lengths they're willing to go to. What they did to that Lydian. It's hard to accept that everything I thought I knew, so much was a lie.
It's always better to know. No matter how awful, the truth is better than living with a lie.
I am coming around to that thinking as well.
Commander Rydick, you're needed on the bridge at once.
What is it?
The Hotari have agreed to meet.
They haven't found us yet.
We can't just wait to be rescued. We have no idea when or if the Resolute is gonna catch up. But if we can get access to the Zeldi systems, we might be able to figure out what the Takan are up to. You got somewhere we could do that?